Alright guys, sound check. Can everyone hear me okay? Patrick, if you're around, can you go to channel 2160 please? So for those of you watching on YouTube, there's not very many people in Twitch right now. I quit the game for a little while, and I recently decided to come back. I don't have as much time to stream anymore, so I'll try to do a stream probably every Friday. I'm not going to be able to do it Monday through Thursday because I am also a dad, and I have to take care of my son on Monday through Thursday because my wife is in school. Hopefully today I can do a few monster reviews or check your teams. I'm currently using Genie Motion because BlueStacks has failed on me and I can no longer get it to work. So this is really laggy. I'm going to work on getting it fixed to make it a little faster, but right now it's terrible. I can't play like effectively on it. So hopefully we'll get that fixed before the next time I stream. But today I wanted to help you guys out with some of your monsters and your teams. I believe that Patrick had asked me yesterday to do his, so I'm going to do his first, and then I think Mage Warfare, you're next on the list. And if anybody else wants to get some monster reviews, I can help you out with those as well. So if Patrick is around, if he goes to channel 2160, I'll do his, and if he doesn't show up, I'll just do Mage Warfare's. Now, Mage, if I remember correctly, I have done yours before, right? So it'll just be an update. This is really, really laggy. You're in Ubiquitous, that's cool. It's a good guild. Looks like you've definitely upgraded your runes recently. Looks like you've been double modding up pretty well. I'm not sure what the correct runes are for Dark Elemental. I know he's really good for doing the dungeons and stuff. I don't use him personally. I finally beat all B10 dungeons, and I use the Imps and my Wind Ninja for most of that. So I think your biggest issue at this point is you just need to get some of your stuff to 6 stars, and I know that's hard because getting all those 5 stars it takes to make a 6 is it takes a long it just does take a long time, and I think that's your biggest issue right now. I would definitely go ahead and get your Wind Ninja awakened, and also your probably your Death Knight here. I think those are all pretty good. I don't think the Wind one's quite as good as the Fire, but I think they're all pretty good. As far as your team goes, your defense team is fine. You're using the Fire Valkyrie, the Wind, or I'm sorry, the Water Epicon Priest, the Wind Sylphid, and the Wind Warbear. And I think that's a good squad. The only thing I could say maybe change is if you want to go a little bit more aggressive, you can get rid of the Warbear for the Mystic Witch. When you're attacking people, I assume you're using the Mystic Witch, the Fire Valkyrie, and probably your maybe even your Fire Inugami. These runes that you have here, like even though they're only 3-star runes, like those little bitty substats really help out. So it's good to go ahead and get these up. You don't have to take them all the way to plus 12 or anything, but get them up to at least plus 9. It's really simple to get them to 9. And as you can see, you're only at 17k health, and I believe a good arena should be closer to 30k health. So, okay, I just saw your chat. For your attack team, I think that's fine, except maybe the Wind Sylphid's maybe not good enough. Like if it was a Fire Epicon Priest, I would say for sure. But because so many people run Wind Joker, like the Wind Sylphid's not good enough for attack. I would like putting your Water Epicon in there better to get the hills because it's basically the same effect as your Wind Sylphid. Like you're going to be taking the same amount of damage, except your Water Epicon's a lot harder to kill. I'll do some better reviews once I get a little once I get the lag fixed on my stream. So Mikey, it looks like you are doing a little bit of glory farming, and that's cool. Hello, the rocks. You said you don't have very many monsters, but I disagree. It looks like you got some really good monsters here. So I really like the Fire Death Knight. Fire Sylph is good. She's not as good as the other two, the Wind and the Water Sylph, but she still does a decent amount of damage. Mage, I'll answer that question in just a minute. Let me help this guy out. So, one thing I see already is you have attack percent runes all the way around, which is good, but you're running Swift Energy. Like, I feel like if you want to go first every time, Swift's not enough. So you also need a speed rune on too. So you're not gaining anything by running Swift here. If you're going to run this kind of setup with attack percent all the way around, I think Fatal Energy is better. If you want to be faster than your opponent, then you can run Swift and a speed rune on too. I don't really like the Fire Bounty Hunter, or I'm sorry, the Wind Bounty Hunter. I don't like any of them really. I don't think they're good enough, especially when you have better options. Like the Fire Inugami is way better than the Bounty Hunter. The Death Knight is way better than the Bounty Hunter. The Beretta is way better than the Bounty Hunter. Like sure, you need a wind attacker, which is I assume that's why you're using it is because you need a wind attacker. But in my advice, I would just go farm a Wind Warbear because they're way better. The Fire Death Knight is really good. I'm not completely sure how to rune them, but I'm pretty sure it's you do need some health, but you also need some accuracy. Hang on one sec. Let me read their skill. I think these guys have been nerfed a little bit because they used to be really stupid. Hey, Post Up, how are you? Yeah, so I think the best way to run this guy is as a mixed attacker. I would run HP percent on one of these. I would first of all I would run a probably Fatal Energy. And I would still run HP percent on a Fatal and attack percent on the other two. Or maybe HP percent on two and attack percent on one. Your Water Epicon, they're fantastic. Absolutely one of the best monsters in the game. It used to be the best, but then she got nerfed. I like running 4 energy runes and 2 endure runes. I think that's a little bit better for the overall goal because you need resistance. Otherwise, things like the Wind Joker can disrupt your healing. Yeah, sure, the rocks. I'll do yours as soon as after this one if there's no one else waiting. And the Fire Inugami is really good. So my suggestion for you is you keep using your Fire Sylph, your Fire Death Knight, your Fire Inugami. They're all good. I know they're all fire. So what you want to do to fix that is for your arena team, you're going to want to run something like Fire Sylph, Fire Death Knight, Water Epicon Priest, and Wind Warbear. I think that's going to be your best option on defense. And for attacking, it's obviously going to change. If you run up against a full wind team, then you're all set up. You got all the fire you need. So those are my suggestions for you. Keep working on your water imps so you can start doing stuff like B9. I think that'll be very good for you. And just work on these runes. The runes are like your biggest issue. Even more so than evolving. I wouldn't even worry about evolving anything until all these runes worked up. And good luck to you. Alright, it looks like Patrick's back. I owe Patrick a monster review, so Patrick, if you could go to channel 2160 so I could click on your name, please. I know you're on my friends list, but it's too hard for me to do that with this laggy client. I'm gonna take a bite of food real quick. Hold on. So I'm going to do Patrick first, and then I'm going to do the rocks, and then post up. Post up, I don't know what your name is in game, so if you could let me know in chat, I'd appreciate it. Alright, so I believe to look at your team briefly last night, and I know that I said that you had a lot of options, and I didn't want to type it all because I was taking care of my son last night. You could probably hear him in the background right now. But basically I said, you know, you shouldn't put so much time and effort into your Water Undine. Water Undine is fine, but she's just not as good as other water creatures, and that's the big issue. Especially since you're going to be using, you know, potentially a Water Mystic Witch and a Water Dragon Knight. I'm sorry, Death Knight. So I think both of those are better than the Undine. And you don't want too many water guys unless you have something like a Water Chimera to make them, you know, better. And water teams just aren't all that great in general because of Wind Joker. So my suggestion to you for arena defense is going to be something like Wind Warbear, Fire Epicon Priest, Water Death Knight, and Fire Inugami. I think those are going to be like your best options. Your other options are, instead of the Wind Warbear, if you want to go more attack, you can use the Water Rakshasa. I'm sorry, not the Water Rakshasa. The Wind Rakshasa. The Wind Period is good, but not as good as the Rakshasa. Just because you can put Violent Runes on the Rakshasa, and she just kills so much stuff. Fire Period is okay as well, but still not the greatest fire. I think Fire Inugami is just better. Especially, I've been seeing a lot of more people using mixed attacker Fire Inugamis. Like, there are two types of Inugamis in the arena. The first one is the people who put attack percent all the way around, and they just hope that he kills something before he dies. And that's fine, but I like to, if I'm going to use an Inugami in the arena, I want my Inugami to survive. So I like using a little bit different build. I like going HP percent on 2 of my runes and attack percent on the other, because he can survive longer and he still does tons of damage, and he has Annihilate. So the longer he's alive, the more damage he's going to potentially do by just doing a lot of damage one turn. So again, for your defense, I would go Fire Epicon Priest, Fire Inugami, Wind Warbear, and Water Epicon Priest, I think, or Water Dragon Knight, sorry, or Death Knight. For attack, on the other hand, you have different options. Water Mystic Witch is really good on attack, so you're going to want to use her. You're going to want to use your Death Knight. You're going to want to use your Inugami, and you're going to want to use your Fire Epicon Priest. So you're going to take out the Wind Warbear for the Water Epicon Priest. I'm sorry, the Water Mystic Witch. And I think that will help you out. Hey, it's Daximus. Good to see you. But anyway, Patrick, I think that should give you a good edge. I would try that out and keep working on your runes and stuff. And maybe next time I stream next week, I think we'll be good to go. And I can help you out a little bit more if you need it. But I think that team's going to be a lot better for you overall. Remember, if you're going to use them for food, make sure you use them to get something to 6-star. Yeah, it'll be a VOD here, and it'll be on YouTube. Daximus, I think that's how you say it. Alright, so next up is going to be the Rocks. You are Poopa Troopa. If you could type in chat again, because this is just too laggy, I can't even scroll up. And while I'm waiting on you to do that, I'm going to eat a little bit more. Hey, Booty. Good to see you, man. Alright, so your defense team looks okay. I don't like Water Mystic Witch so much on defense unless you have her with HP % runes. So, I mean, maybe she's okay, but I feel like you're going to need speed, and right now you have increased attack power, so I feel like having something like a Water Sylph in her is better. I don't like her by herself like that. But let's see what you got. Maybe it's your best option. Alright, so you have good stuff for dungeoning, it looks like. You have all the good dungeon creatures. So you're working on your Fire Unigami and your Wind Warbear to max 5-star right now. I don't like the Water Warbear. I would use him. Since he's already level 30, I would go ahead and make him 5-star and then leave him at level 1, and then later on use him to evolve something to 6 stars. The Light Bearman is pretty decent on defense, but I'm not sure. Like, in your lineup, like, it's probably going to be the best option. So I think I would look for something like Wind Warbear for sure, Fire Inugami for sure, Water Epicon Priest for sure, and then your other option is going to be, I want to say Bearman. I don't particularly like the way you have him ruined, though. So for now, you can use your Lich, probably. Let me check your Lich. I'm not particularly fond of him, either. I would definitely go Light Bearman for now. And just work on his runes. What I would do is I would check some of the top players and see how they have their Bearman ruined, because that's what you should do. I've seen a couple different ways of it done, but I haven't played in about a month, so he could have changed. So until I get back into the groove of things and start streaming more and relearn everything that I knew, I would just go with what they have for runes, like top players. Also, your Wind Magical Archer is really good. You can use her for attack, but you also have a Wind Imp that's just as good. I like the Magical Archer better at the end game, but during the mid game where your runes aren't perfect, I would definitely use the Wind Imp over the Wind Magical Archer. And for right now, don't worry about evolving anything. Like, don't worry about getting any more 5 stars or 6 stars or 4 stars. Don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about it because you have good enough monsters. What you need to do is focus on runes, because every one of these guys that I've looked at so far they don't have any runes powered up, and runes are more important. Like, look at this. Your Inugami. He doesn't really have anything for runes. Like, they're sure that you have the right setup, but they're not leveled up. Also, something I like to do on the Inugami is I like to put a crit rate % rune on Blade, right here. Also, these runes that are 3 stars, you can upgrade these really easily to 4 star just by doing the correct corresponding dungeon type thing. It's not dungeon though; it's just on the map. The way you do that is if you see the place that drops fatal runes, you go to the second stage, and then that stage will only drop the second stage runes. So you have a chance of getting a 4 star. You can also farm the last level. I'm sorry, my kid is crying or yelling in the background. But you can also farm the last stage of that particular area to get potential 5-star runes. They're a lot more rare, and you're not going to get the one you want always, but at least they're upgrades to what you currently have. And for this guy, you want to run 4 energy runes and 2 guard runes. You want a little bit of defense. That way, anything that does HP % damage doesn't completely destroy you because you have a little bit of defense. It's not completely relevant, but I do think it will help you in the long run. Anyway, man, I hope that helps. You do have some good monsters. You just need to work on the runes. Alright, I believe there was someone who asked after him. I believe it was Drathan. Drathan, if you could type again in chat. So you're running 2 light creatures. I'm not really big on the light fairy being in your lineup in the dungeon. Or the living armor. I'm okay with the light bearman and the wind warbear. All right, you are all ready to go for dungeons. You got the water inferno, the double water imps. Yeah, you got the water period for stun for the trial of ascension. This looks pretty good. It looks like arena is where you're going to struggle for a little while, and that's okay because you have everything you need to just climb the trial and to do as many dungeons as you need, and that's okay for now because I believe in the long run that's better. If you're only planning on playing this game for like a month and then quitting, then maybe this isn't the right way to go for you. But if you're planning on playing the game for the long haul, I definitely like doing the building on the dungeon teams first. You've got a lot of good stuff. I love the light Inugami. I love the light imp. Tons of max level 3 stars. You're just ready to evolve everything. So let me ask you, Drathan, are you more interested in arena teams, or like what do you want? Do you want like an arena defense? Because I feel like you know what you're doing in the dungeons. It looks like you've read the guides on app invasion, and you're probably going in the right direction. Okay, light Inugami and light imp. Light imp is pretty good in the arena. The Inugami is also really good in the arena, but one is good on offense and one is good on defense. The light imp is amazing for offense because he just does so much damage, just straight up to anything that your opponent has. Things that combo really well with the light imp are a water Garuda. And I know people, they see the 2-star monsters and they don't think they're very good, but everything works with something else. Like, yeah, there might be stages of how good they actually are. But the water Garuda has resurge, and so does the light Garuda, I think. But I prefer using the water Garuda, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's probably because I saw it on a YouTube video, and I found out that was probably the better way to use it. But yeah, you can resurge the light imp, and then the light imp will just pretty much one-hit something. Also, like a lot of these things aren't very good. Like your Undines, I don't like any of the Undines. I'm not a big fan of the Fire Joker. I have one in my storage. I'm not really using it, but I have it. The only period I really like is the Wind one, or I'm sorry, the Water one, and it's not even that great. I don't even use mine very well. Jurjur, I don't really like the Water Archer either. The Wind Archer is the best archer, and the Fire follows shortly after that. So for arena, since you're doing dungeons and you're gonna have better runes and stuff like that, I suggest definitely using a Fire Inugami type team. Like I'd probably go Fire Inugami, Water Mystic Witch, Light Inugami, and maybe even a Dark Inugami. Run like a full Inugami team with Water Mystic Witch, because I think like that's pretty decent. And your Light Inugami can heal, so it's not like it's the end of the world. I would probably make your Light Inugami a little bit tankier, and your Dark Inugami and your Fire Inugami all attack. It may not be the best lineup, but it sounds really cool. No, that was for defense. If you want to go tankier, you can use your Wind Yeti, your Light Bearman. I'm pretty sure you have a Wind Warbear. I would use that. And probably your Water Epicon Priest if you want to go tanky. And then for offense, I think you kind of know what you're doing based off how you've ruined your, not how you've ruined, but how you have your monsters evolved. So I kind of feel like you understand the basic, matchups in the game and like what beats what. So I mean, you can use your judgment on how to fight offense, but overall, you would probably want to use your Water Epicon Priest in pretty much every team. Light Bearman's going to be good. Wind Pixie is amazing, Jurjur. Even at the top levels, there's a couple top 100 people that still use the Wind Pixie. It's really good. If you struggle against Wind, you just need to get your Fire Inugami up higher. Maybe even... Let me look at your Fire again. The Fire Phantom Thief is also really good, and the Fire Magical Archer is... She's not Tier 1, but she's probably Tier 2, Tier 2.5, like... She's strong. Like, as long as you have good runes, she can fight with the best of them. But the Fire Phantom Thief will probably do you a little bit better in the mid stages of the game, and like until you get those big 6-star runes. in which case the Inugami is going to be your best bet. Once you get enough health and enough attack all at once, the Fire Inugami is way better. Also, I don't know how much you guys read the forums, but Sit Down 2000 wrote a guide, or has a guide out there on the Fire Inferno, and I was never very big on the Fire Inferno, but his guide shows how he built it, and it's really good. And he runs accuracy percent on 2, attack percent on 4, and speed on 2, attack percent on 4, and accuracy percent on 6. And if they're dying too fast, post up. Like what I do is I change runes out a lot. Like I spend a lot of mana stones changing out runes, and I suggest trying HP percent runes. I try everything. I don't do what the best players do all the time. I mean, sometimes they just have way better stuff than me, and I can't do it the way they do it. So I tend to try my own stuff out. Try more HP percent. Try more attack percent. Whatever I need in the case. But sometimes you have to realize that sometimes the people you're playing against are just way better, like have way better monsters than you, and sometimes you just can't beat them. Some people spend a lot of money on this game. I believe it was Pencil that said he spent like 20 grand on this game. Like that's stupid. Alright, I'm going to try to keep this stream short today because I really want to get this lag issue fixed, and hopefully next time I stream it will be a lot better. Like right now I can't do anything. I can't like even fight a battle. If anyone has any questions though, please feel free to ask them now. I'll answer them the best of my ability. Yeah, someone said Pencil spent 100 grand. I don't know if that's true, but I know it was a lot. I know it was definitely over 20. And then he quit. I don't understand that. I can't do trial vids because I beat the trial. I can show you, but maybe in 35 days when it resets, I will do the trial videos. But as you can see, I completed the Trial of Ascension, and I got a Water Rakshasa out of my Legendary Scroll, so I wasn't very happy about that. Xeno, I cleared, like my final team was not the same team I used throughout the entire thing. Like I said, Drathan, I wouldn't worry about 6-starring anything right now. I think it's more important to get your runes up. I think runes are more important than 6-starring something. Once you have all your runes like plus 12, then yeah, maybe you can start 6-starring something. I don't like the Water Grim Reaper. I'm not gonna say it's bad because people keep finding ways to use things, but the Water Imp is good, and you need to level it for dungeons. And if you haven't seen my dungeon videos, you can check at the bottom of my stream. There's one where I do Giants Keep B9 with it, and I've also done B10 now with all of them, on all of them. But the Water Imp is very important to that. So I wanted to show you guys one thing before I leave. I got a second 5-star monster that most of you don't know about yet. And I'm very upset about what it is. I already have it. I have a second Water Chimera. It's been my main monster for a long time, and I'm sure that you could find a way to make it and a second one good, but I'm just so upset about it. I threw it in my storage and I haven't touched it. Drayton, I think there's only really one way to rune your imps. I think they need all blade runes, and they need, the end goal is to get 80% accuracy and 65% crit rate. So whatever you have, however you have to do that. So you're going to need an accuracy percent rune on 6 no matter what. And you're going to need a crit rate percent rune on 4 no matter what. And I put speed on 2. That way they can, you know, out-attack the bosses. But all my runes are in the YouTube video that I made for the water imps, and if you haven't seen that yet, please check it out. It'll help you out a lot. Also, you can also always look at my monsters by coming into channel 2160 and asking if I'm here, or you can add me to your friends list. I don't have a lot of spots open, and I have to remove people every day to add new people. So if you add me, you may not be added forever. I'm sorry, it's just the way it works sometimes. What does accuracy do? Accuracy allows your special abilities to be used or hit more often. So for instance, the water imp has a special ability on his last move called continuous damage. And what continuous damage does is it allows you to do damage over time. So in order for you to get enough continuous damage procs onto the boss, you need to have 80% accuracy. You can do it with less sometimes, but I prefer to win every time by just sometimes. Otherwise, you're just wasting energy. Drayton, yeah, I can add you. And please feel free to check out my monsters and see how I do things. I'm not saying my way is the best way, but I'm also saying that everyone needs to experiment. I'm just here to help you out and give you the best advice based off of what I've tried, and hopefully it will help you too. Mage, I used different teams on every level. I can tell you that I used the imps on some levels. I used my Chimera on some levels. I used my Fire Epicon Priest in every single level. It really just depended on what the level was. I used my Wind Joker a lot. I use my Wind Sylph a lot, and my Water Sylph a lot. Fire Epicon is very important to completing the Tower of Ascension, in my opinion, because you just need to avoid some of the big hits. I will say this though: the boss fight was a lot easier than I expected it to be. The level 100. My hardest level was level 76. It took me longer to beat level 76 than it did to beat the boss. Sure. It looks like I am lagged out. Give me just a moment here, see if I can get this fixed. Yeah, Mage, I use both Water and Wind Sylph. Just depending on what battle it was. Like, I wish I would have wrote it all down so I could just so I could have written a guide on it. But I just wanted it done so bad. By the time I got to level 90, I just wanted to finish it. And like I said, the next time I do it, I'll be sure to document it a little bit better. But unfortunately, it won't let me replay any of the battles. Otherwise, I would have done a video already on them. The Wind Imp is really good for mid-game. And my game crashed. Hold on 1 second, guys. Well, it looks like my game has crashed for good this time. It's done this a couple times. It took me a long time to get the stream set up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting an error now. What I'll do is I'll try to get it fixed for next time, and I'll definitely do some more streaming. I'm sorry I couldn't show you my team. Hopefully I'll be back in the top 100 soon, and you can just find me there and pull me down. But I haven't had a lot of time to play, so I'm only like top 2,000 right now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and thanks for watching. And I hope next time this is all running smooth, and I can do a lot more stuff to help people out. Yeah, if there's any final questions, you can go ahead and ask now. I'm sorry that the stream has died and you can't see the video. But, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, have a good one. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.